This is a game changer if you listen to every word and take action. Let me just say this. If you don't do this, you miss out. If you mess around, you've just wasted a huge amount of your time. So let me ask you this. Have you ever wanted to do some extremely important branding and marketing? If you answered yes, then you're on the right track. And I mean that because it doesn't matter whether you're a solo entrepreneur or a graphic artist working for someone, you'll need and should want to learn all about this special new type of branding technique that we will be sharing for 5 complete days. And I gotta tell you, this is for those moments when you're absolutely sure you're right and the other person is just, well, let's just say potentially misguided. So sit back, relax, take a load off your feet so you can reach out and imagine that feeling when things just seem to come together. And it's about something as seemingly simple as picking the right branding color. The color that can make or break your company in a way that no superstar wants over the competition. And that is where our real story begins. Think of it this way. It's a Tuesday afternoon in a small, overpriced co-working space in downtown Austin, Texas. The kind of place where the coffee is always fresh, the Wi-Fi is suspiciously fast, and the sound of furious typing mingles with the occasional frustrated sigh. In the center of the kitchen sit 2 people at a small table. Their names? Sarah and Tom. They are not youngsters, but they're full of jest. 2 bright-eyed and bushy-tailed entrepreneurs ready to take on the world. They've got it all figured out. A groundbreaking product, a killer business plan, and enough caffeine in their systems to fuel a small rocket. There's still just one tiny problem. They can't agree on what color to use for their brand. I know that sounds simple, but when you're talking about branding, you need to think about this for a long time. Now you might be thinking, come on, April, it's just a color. How hard can it be? But let me tell you, in the world of startups, choosing a color is like picking a name for your firstborn. It's personal, it's emotional, and apparently it can turn 2 rational adults into squabbling siblings faster than you can say color wheel. Sarah, ever the pragmatist, leans across the kitchen table, her voice a mix of excitement and exasperation. "Let's go with a nice calming blue," she says, her eyes sparkling with conviction. "It's trustworthy and professional." But Tom, he's not having any of it. He runs a hand through his artfully disheveled salt and pepper hair and counters.
"Blue? No way. We need something bold, like neon green. It screams innovation."
Sarah's face scrunches up like she's just bitten into a particularly sour lemon. "Neon green screams highlighter explosion, not innovation," she retorts. Then, in a burst of inspiration, she offers, "How about a sleek black and gold combo?" Tom looks at her like she's just suggested they communicate their brand message via interpretive dance.
Black and gold. Are we selling luxury cars or launching our dream online startup?
And so it goes back and forth for hours. They debate every color under the sun, and probably a few that only exist in the fever dreams of overly caffeinated designers. Flamingo pink, 2 Miami Vice avocado toast green, 2 millennial periwinkle. Does anyone even know what periwinkle looks like? Meanwhile, their to-do list grows longer than the line at a new iPhone release, and their logo remains a sad, colorless outline like a neglected coloring book page. As the sun sets and the co-working space empties out, Sarah and Tom are still there, surrounded by a sea of color swatches and empty coffee cups. They're no closer to a decision than they were hours ago, but they're experts now on the subtle differences between mauve and dusty rose. Now here's the kicker. While Sarah and Tom were locked in their color combat, they missed a crucial fact. Color isn't just about personal preference, it's about psychology, about how your brand speaks to your audience without saying a word. Did you know that about 62 to 90% of product assessment is based on colors alone? Or that color influences 85% of shoppers' purchase decisions? That's right, while our dynamic duo was debating the merits of chartreuse versus cerulean, they could have been using color to subconsciously convince their customers to reach for their wallets. But don't worry, this story has a happy ending. Yep, a happy one. Well, sort of. Sarah and Tom eventually compromised on a color scheme after a heated rock, paper, scissors tournament and a peace offering of gluten-free vegan donuts. Their brand? It turned out just fine. A little blue, a little green, and a whole lot of lessons learned. So the next time you find yourself in a color conundrum, remember Sarah and Tom. Remember that while passion is important, sometimes it's better to look at the facts. And maybe, just maybe, consider hiring a designer before you find yourself debating the merits of macaroni and cheese yellow at 2 a.m. After all, in the world of branding, the right color can be the difference between who are they and wow, I need that. Choose wisely, my friend, and maybe keep the highlighters in the desk drawer. You've got a choice to make right now. You can keep fumbling around in the dark, wasting time and money on branding that's about as exciting as watching paint dry. Or you can grab one of the limited seats to our 5-day marketing and design prep challenge starting on September 22nd.